Welcome back, Pack. This is Adbeel from WolfSteel Buildings, and we're out here in Flower Mound. We got a beautiful night. It's classy, okay? I know I always say all our buildings are beautiful, but this one's classy, and that's what I like about it. Right from just driving down the street, you could see this, this castle like just standing really up on a high elevation. So we're gonna talk a lot about grading, a lot about elevations, and a little bit more on permitting, because where we're located, it was a challenge, okay? Now, before we get to that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Follow us on our TikTok, our Instagram, also our Facebook. Big shout out over here to Eduardo, who's recording. And Eduardo, thank you so much. Are you ready to get this video started?
Let's get it started, my man. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Alrighty guys, first things first, like usual, if you watch our channel, we always start with the measurements here. So we got a 30 wide, 43 long. So it's 43 long, and it's for a specific reason. We got 16 foot tall to the eaves, and then I believe it's a little bit of a 312 pitch. But what I do know is that we have a max 20 foot at the peak, okay? And that's just because the permitting process, okay? And we're gonna be talking about that. Alrighty, Pack. Before we go into the tour, I wanna talk about the permitting process that we went through in this project, okay? So, it was a challenge, okay? Our client back in February of last year reached out and said, let's get this moving, okay? And that was in February, and it took about 6 months to get this project approved. Okay, and we're here in Flower Mound, okay? So if you're in Flower Mound, you're in an area that's suburb like Colleyville, Louisville, all this area around here. It's a very suburban area. You can tell that, there's homes around that are pretty close. So there's a lot of restrictions and control that the cities want to have now in regards to what can and can't be built, make sure to protect basically the city and the neighborhoods. And now the question is, why was it long, right? So first, there definitely was restrictions. You have to get a lot of different things from, like, usually some cities will require like a soil test, they'll require a site plan, they'll require a variance. For example, here, one of the restrictions is you could not be taller than 20 foot. So there's planning around that. So what I recommend, if you're looking to get a building, especially in a suburb area, start looking into your permitting department and figure out what are some of those restrictions, okay? Because we've had a lot of clients that, call us, and then they're already designing their building, and then all of a sudden we get to the permitting process, and then the permitting says, well, you can't do this, you can do this, you can't do this. Even restrictions says you can't even build a metal building. It has to be built out of the exact same materials as your home, okay? Another factor is HOA, okay? HOA can also get involved. And so you want to do that beforehand, so that way you're prepared and you save time, obviously to us, but also to you guys, because time is money, and definitely it is. So that's one of the reasons why it took a little bit long. But also right now in many cities right now going on in Texas, that Texas, we're getting a lot of migration from other states, okay? And what does that mean? That means that the cities are not keeping up, especially the building departments can't keep up. Some of them are understaffed. Last week, we had one of our planning manager, James, go out to, I can't remember a city, but there was a lady just doing commercial permits, residential permits for almost everything. It was just her. And the wait time was long, okay? So just keep that in mind right now with permits. It's challenging. And so one of the new things that we have found that made it really challenging, and it's one of the new policies we have, is if you don't do the foundation with us, unfortunately, we won't be able to provide our permitting services. And let me explain the reasons why, okay? When it comes down to permits, the foundation is actually extremely important, because the location of where your build is gonna be is really something that is extremely important to the permit department. They want to know exactly where are you building it. And so stakes get involved, a survey, some envelope, like it's just a process, okay? And since if we're not doing the foundation, then we have to coordinate all that if we pull the permit, okay? And a lot of times it's challenging with contractors that we don't work with, that we don't have a relationship with. So for that reason, we won't be able to pull. Another reason that we've also encountered is permit departments don't want to be dealing with multiple contractors for just one single project. They want to, hey, I want to know, you know, I want to talk to one single person that knows everything that's going to happen here. I don't want to be dealing with too many people. And so for that reason, we also get denied to even get involved in that process. So it's a lot easier, and in most cases works, if the person that's doing the foundation that's also doing the metal building. So again, we specialize in metal buildings and anything around it, and for that reason, that's why the policy is in place right now. But the biggest advice I can give right now is go check with your building departments, go check with your HOA. That way you know what restrictions you have, and that way you can build on our design, on our designer, or with any other competitor or whatever it is, anywhere you are in the US. But you already know those restrictions, and it's just gonna be a smoother process for you, okay? Now, let's talk about grading. Alrighty, Pack. Now, what I'm excited to talk to you guys about is the elevation. So here, well, specifically this home, okay, it kind of reminds me of Austin, you know, where you got all the hill country going on, but we are not there. But this home is located in a really nice, like, little bit of a hilly area, and especially from this side of the property going this way, we got, you know, a huge drop, okay, and there's a lot of a drop here. So we had to work around that. So if you have a home that doesn't really have a flat elevation, just expect that there's going to be a lot of challenges, especially with grading and especially with drainage, like control of erosion and water, okay? So here, from the original driveway up to here, we're still about around 24 inches of a finished floor elevation for the finished floor of the main building. So that's the reason why we did this nice, beautiful approach up to the building. But that also meant that we had to bring a lot of fill to elevate over here. And then on the opposite side, we actually have the elevation of the existing grade, okay, is higher. And so over there, we had to build a retaining wall, okay? If we didn't build that retaining wall, all that water is going there would have came into the building as much as possible. Or we could have raised the building higher, but it just cost more. So it was a lot more cost effective to do a retaining wall to protect the building from any erosion, any water that's just traveling from the higher elevation of the property, okay? Now, come this way a little bit. We're gonna talk about our downspouts that we do, but here you can see that our client did their own drains, and they connected them really, really nice to these gutters. And then the first thing that I did when I got here, I was like, where's this all going? Definitely, you want to connect them and then shoot them out, and you can see it's over there on the other side of the pool. And this is beautiful because it's protecting the foundation from having any erosion, and really control how much water is around your foundation. That's really important, especially here in Flower Mound area. We still have a lot of clay grounds, and those are really unstable whenever you have a lot of water, moisture in and out. Just something to really keep in mind. And our client actually did it on the other side as well. Alrighty, Pack, we got the permits out of the way. We got the grading and understanding of the elevations, what we had to do for this project. That's the beauty of, and I was talking to you, Eduardo, that what I love right now is just like the challenges of different properties and different projects, like making these things happen. That's what gets me excited. Now, let's get into the building. Okay, so the building here, again, this is a 30 by 43 long. It's 16 foot to the eaves. And then right here we have white and charcoal gray. To me, it's a classic combination. you know, we've been doing a lot of black and white, but the gray, the charcoal gray, which is the darker side of the gray, to me with the white, it's a beautiful combination. Yeah. And if you're seeing the drone footage, you're gonna really like it. Definitely, this is our red iron models, okay? Our red iron comes with most of all the bells and whistles. So we got the 26 gauge panels, which is the thicker gauge compared to the 29 gauge. And then we also have the 40-year paint warranty on the panels, color matching screws, the base trim, which is really, really nice here. So, and the base trim, if you watch our channel, we always do our base trim. We actually included it as part of our packages for most of our projects. And then if you don't have it in there, just make sure to ask for it. But basically, this is another insurance for, you know, for critters that come in, especially because if you have vertical here, if we didn't have this base trim and there's a dip in the concrete or anything like that, then critters are wanting to come in. You can see here, we got a fly that's trying to come in there. So definitely, he's being prevented from happening. Keep in mind, this project, we did it about 8 months ago, okay? So it's been a while. We're back here just to, because we really thought this project should be on our channel, and I'm glad that we're here because I love this color combination. Now, and one of the things our client was really specific about was his aesthetics. He really wanted it to match well. And if you know, our overhead doors will not match the exact color of the panels. They're made from different suppliers, so usually the colors will not match. So sometimes you can order an overhead door and the color is brown, and you say brown on my metal building. That does not mean that they will match, okay? Just keep that in mind. So what we recommend our clients is you can actually paint your doors afterwards, okay? For our client here, we actually did paint them, okay? And we can only paint in certain areas, so we painted them to match as closely as possible to the color of the door, okay? So that's why they look amazing. And also our walk-in door, which we're about to walk through, is also matched. So that's something that you could do is, you know, you could get white doors of everything, and then later on, you can have a painter come in and paint your doors. That way it matches the color of your panels, okay? So here, that's why I love this combination, because now the only difference here is that definitely this is on steel metal and this is on a different type of material, okay? Now, what do you think of these panels?
Man, they're beautiful. They're
this
awesome.
is the short carriage model, okay? These are 14 by 14 doors. They're really tall. This is usually the size that we recommend for RVs, okay? We're gonna walk inside. We don't have an RV here, but if you're considering to in the future buy an RV, this is usually the size, because RVs usually they are about 12'6", almost 13 foot, especially the Class A, the bigger RVs, and that's because of the air conditioning, or the air conditioning on the top. So just keep that in mind. But this is 14 foot tall. Nice, beautiful lights our client installed. Again, we don't do electrical yet. Our client did do the 4 windows on this side, and especially I believe because if he's inside, you know, inside the building, he's able to see his, you know, if his kids are playing in the pool or something like that, he's able to see out there quickly if he's inside his shop. Again, for our red iron, our trim system is combined with the gutter system, okay? So the gutter connects extremely well, and if you're seeing the drone footages, they connect from the rake trim in the front to the gutters and the downspouts. So we've had clients say, hey, well, what if I don't want the gutters and downspouts? And we say, yeah, we can take them off, but you're probably not gonna like the trim system. I actually like the vertical or the tubular trim system way better than this trim system without the gutters and downspouts, if that makes sense. If you have the gutters and downspouts, I love this because the downspout is the same material as the metal building. We basically break them, create them with the same material as your metal building.
So it gives you that aesthetic.
Come on in. Again, this is our steel door. Our client, we got this painted to match as closely as possible to the metal panels. Check this out, guys. This is what a 30 by 43 metal building will get as far as heights, so sizes. And let's talk about the doors before we get into the building. So these, again, these are 12 by 14s, 14 foot tall, 12 wide. Usually when you're looking at a metal building, the first number that's being spoken is usually gonna be the width, okay? So like a 30 by 43 by 16, 30 is the width, and 30 is typically where you have the peak, okay, of a gable. 43 is the length, okay? So that's the second number is typically gonna be the length, and then the third number is gonna be the height, okay? So the same concept goes with the door. So if it's 12 by 14, what that's saying is 12 wide, 14 foot tall, okay? So width, length, height. And here is width and height. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because we actually have had, you know, clients say, hey, I want to get a 40 by 30. And we're like, okay, is 40 going to be the width or is that going to be the length? That actually makes a huge difference when it comes down to your pricing, because the wider that your gable or your rafters or trusses are going to be, the more reinforced they have to be. And that's what increases the price. Whether it's tubular, whether it's red iron, weld up, bolt up, it's a lot more cost effective to go lengthwise than to go widthwise, like wider, because your rafters get more reinforced. It becomes a little bit more where you got to put in more money into having a, you know, not losing that integrity with your width, okay? Keep that one in mind. This is a 12 by 14. This is insulated door. This is the 6.7 R factor for the insulation. Now you can get, there's the 10, which also has a steel backing behind it. So those are we got the non-insulated, the 6.7 and the 10 R value. And again, if you notice on the B-rolls, hopefully marketing helped me out there, but the B-rolls, the frame that we set this door on is a little bit wider, okay? This is around 8 to 10 inches. I need to check, but well, I actually have the, yep, 8 inches. So the notch detail had to be done custom made differently. So our notch detail for our red iron is not the same for tubulars. So here you can see here how we already have this already set nice and beautiful at the right measurement, so that way no water is coming in. The beauty is that this finish elevation is a little bit higher than over in the driveway, so the chances for water to come in are very, very minimal. But do keep in mind, here in Texas, it doesn't rain like this, it rains like this. So the water that hits the doors, there's still potential. And then also like coming in from under, it's a little crazy. Now, I do want to settle something that we got a comment on our YouTube, and I just want to mention it, okay? We had a comment on our YouTube say, why don't we do the ramp instead of the notch? That, you know, having that notch or having that step right here can be annoying in the sense of like trying to get maybe like your toolbox over it, which it is true, okay? The ramp has to be done a specific way. I've seen ramps done where then you have lighting, then you have critters coming in, because the ramp has to be done in a specific way. I have a video that you guys should check out where I explain the challenges of a ramp. Now, the ramp can be done a hybrid method combined with this method where it works out, okay? And so we actually can do it if our clients request it specifically. But we find that it's a lot better in our process right now to do it this way. That's just from a business standpoint, how we manage it. Now, we've had clients say also that they love this one a lot because the way that the wind hits here in Texas, if it gets under, this also protects it. And so all the dust and water just kind of lands here. And on the ramp, it can beat it. There's pros and cons. Yeah. Pros and cons, but this way, our clients have loved it. We have not had complaints, so that's the reason why we still do it. Just mentioning it because I know some of our YouTube fans have mentioned why not the ramp? Why not the ramp? So check out that video. I elaborate a lot more on it. Alrighty, back. So here we have, again, this is the red iron. This is our bolt-up models, okay? So bolt-ups are put together in bolts and as a kit. The process is longer to get the kit. And one of the beauties that I love about bolt tubs, red iron bolt tubs, is that they're all pre-engineered. So it's custom designed and engineered for you, okay? And that's what I love about this project. The plans specifically for you, specifically for this exact location, for wind loads, for anything that you're trying to, collateral loads, whatever you're trying to build here. That's the beauty of red iron bolt tubs, okay? Now, some of the questions that I've been asked is like, oh, look, why does it have these cables? Okay, these cables are for wind lateral bracing, okay? Now, sometimes we can't have cables, and especially if you have too many windows, especially on one side, okay? So here on this side, if you're seeing on that other side, we have a cable on the wall. We needed a cable on this wall, but unfortunately we couldn't. So, because we needed the 4 windows, okay? So what do we have here? We have a portal, okay? That portal is a lot more pricier than a cable. So how you're designing your building can definitely affect. Now, if you would have moved these 2 windows maybe to the other side to have 2 and 2, the price might have changed where it might have gone down, you know, a couple $100, because that portal is, again, this is basically lateral bracing, okay? It's replacing the cables because we can't have cables in front of windows. Well, not even in front, but in the middle. So that's just something to keep in mind with our red iron. Man, this is a sturdy building, man. Like, one of the differences between red iron and tubular is how heavy the materials are. You know, you got 8-inch purlins, Z purlins on the top, 8-inch purlins on the walls. It's just a lot more heavier, the beams. So it's just a lot more heavier material, and that is what, you know, differentiates in the pricing between tubular and red iron, is that you're getting 26 gauge panels up front, and then it's just a lot more heavier materials being used for a bolt tub or a red iron in general. Alrighty, Pat, we did the foundation.
Yeah, makes it look more, you know, pop out.
Yeah.
With the sunlight, everything just gives it more light.
It makes it really cool. Like it's a feeling differently than just the raw concrete. Alrighty, Pat, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really love this project. It's a simple, you know, nice workshop. And if you're looking for a workshop like this, don't forget to reach out to us. We can definitely help you guys out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave us some comments because I am answering them. And also Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We are showing a lot of behind the scenes of our projects, and I'll see you guys in the next video.